Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Dark Park Film Reviews. And today on this video, we are going to be taking a look at two purchases from two different Zia records. There is one above me that's on Rainbow, and it's about 10 minutes. Then there's another one that's on Eastern. That's about 30 minutes away. So this is probably around my birthday, let's say. September 10th. So right around in there, I went to both Zia Records and did two purchases. And so we'll take a look at the one on Rainbow first, and then we'll look at the one that's on Eastern. I'm pretty happy with these purchases. And yeah, so let's get into this. So this is Rainbow, and this is what I picked up at Rainbow. So I now have a thing for Michael Bay, and I don't know why, but all of a sudden I'm really enjoying Michael Bay movies, and even movies that are like produced by Michael Bay or Don Simpson and Michael Bay. I guess even Tom Cruise kind of falls into that category, with like the Paramount, like Top Gun stuff. And so I've just been collecting Michael Bay stuff. I did order a box set of the Transformers films, and I got Bumblebee, which is like a side movie. And then I think it's next month the newest Transformers comes out. And I know that's not directed by Michael Bay, but it's part of that series. So figured why not? They're kind of like the Fast and the Furious movies, I guess, where they, you got the box set and then you buy the newest one, and then you have to buy separately the spin-off one and that type of thing. So, and I've been slowly watching these. So what I picked up over on Rainbow is is Armageddon on Blu-ray. And I remember, the film was okay when I originally saw it, and I sat down to watch it. I just kind of wanted just kind of like a dumb, brainless action movie, and I watched it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more this time than when I had watched it before, which I don't know, might have been in the theaters when it came out. But I enjoyed it. It's pretty much, excuse me, everything that. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I said Don Simpson, Michael Bay. It's Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer. And then Michael Bay came from that. So I'm sorry, I have to make that correction. So that is incorrect. So, because yeah, like right here, Jerry Bruckheimer, and then Michael Bay film. So it was for a while Don Simpson / Jerry Bruckheimer. Don Simpson died of a drug overdose because he was like a party guy, and then it just became Jerry Bruckheimer. But Michael Bay has made a bunch of movies either under the Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer, or just Jerry Bruckheimer name. So there we go. So I've corrected myself. No reason to correct me in the comments because I just corrected myself. But yeah, so I enjoyed Armageddon. I thought it was fun. I thought that it looked good and it sounded good. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. For a disaster movie, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And its special features are Aerosmith MTV award-winning music video, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, and then the theatrical trailer and teaser trailer. So not a lot of special features on this one. Oh, Gail Ann Hurd also produced it. If you watch her logo, the Valhalla logo for her company, I worked on that. And it took a few days to do, but I worked for a company in Burbank a long time ago called Stargate, and we actually did her company logo. So if you ever see it, and it's kind of like a Viking ship that kind of moves through some clouds, I worked on that. And I think this also has a great cast too. Oh crap, it's also written by J.J. Abrams. It's back when he actually cared, I guess. I like Aerosmith. I mean, they're featured throughout this, but I don't think that they're great, but I do like Aerosmith. Always thought it was weird that that Liv Tyler was in the Ragdoll video for Aerosmith, and of course she's um the son of the lead, the daughter of the lead singer of Aerosmith, and the Ragdoll video is it kind of shows her as being a little slutty. So I always thought that was interesting. But but yeah. So this is definitely worth picking up. And I think there's some Criterion editions of these too, but I found them just on regular Blu-ray, and that's fine. The next one that I got is once again, it's Jerry Bruckheimer, Michael Bay film of Pearl Harbor. And this is another one I enjoyed. I haven't seen it in a very long time. Randall Wallace wrote this, who I think wrote Braveheart. Yeah, directed by Michael Bay. Once again, starring Ben Affleck. Oh, Alec Baldwin. Hans Zimmer did the music to this. Did he do it on this one too? He's good. I have a bunch of his soundtracks. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I don't see who did music. I'm surprised, unless I'm just. Oh, no, that's story. I don't see music. Of course, it's very tiny, so I don't remember. But I enjoyed this too. It's a love triangle, but I liked it. My grandfather was at Pearl Harbor, and when he was in hospice, he told me about his time at Pearl Harbor when he was stationed there. So yeah, how they thought it was like a training exercise because they had no idea. But of course, as we found out years later that our government did know about Pearl Harbor. They knew about it days in advance, and they didn't warn anybody because they wanted to figure out a way of getting into World War II. And this was it. So basically, by killing, Americans, that's how we got into World War II, because nobody wanted to get into World War II. So there you go. And the special features on this feature film Journey to the Screen, The Making of Pearl Harbor, Unsung Heroes interview feature with the heroes of World War II, music video, There You'll Be, performed by Faith Hill, theatrical trailer, teaser trailer, and then there's movie showcase, instant access to select movie scenes that showcase the ultimate in high definition, picture, and sound. And then it says seamless interviews. So I made sure both of these are widescreen. So it's okay. I'll have to watch it again. The next one I was very happy to find. This is a Uwe Boll film, and I love Uwe Boll. He's actually one of my favorite directors. I don't care what people say. I would love to get him on One Filmmaker if possible. And I just enjoy his work. I don't care what people say. I love House of the Dead and In the Name of the King and some other stuff that he's done. So, fuck off. But this is Rampage, Capital Punishment. And he's a political guy too. He's actually a very smart guy. That Raging Bull or Bully documentary about him is very good. On this, the special features are making of, trailer, director's commentary. And it's written by Uwe Boll. He's one of the writers, executive producer. Brendan Fleischer is also one of the producers, and he's the star of the movie. So I'm not as familiar with these. I think there's a few of these, and I don't know if this is part one or maybe this is one of the sequels. I think the first one is just Rampage, but maybe they changed it because of the Dwayne Johnson Rampage movie. But Rampage, Capital Punishment. This I haven't watched yet. I haven't watched all of his movies because he has a lot of them. This is DVD and Blu-ray. But I've seen a lot of his stuff, and I enjoy it. I don't care what people say. There's a lot worse movies out there. Come on. Now we're getting into DVD, and this is the widescreen edition. It's a Ridley Scott film, and it's Matchstick Men, which I think is one of Nicolas Cage's best films. Matchstick Men is awesome. This is the film, I believe, that Ridley Scott took on when basically I Am Legend, when it was going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, didn't happen. He took this on instead. So I thought it was a really great film. It's got great performances by everyone. It also has Sam Rockwell and Alison Lohman, who I think is really good. I think she's great in Drag Me to Hell. And I don't really know if she does much acting anymore. So you got two thumbs way up from Ebert and Roper, if that means anything. So you got special features, Tricks of the Trade, Making Matchstick Men. Follow the director through an intimate day-to-day account of the filmmaking process. So part one is pre-production, part two is production, and part three is post-production. That I will definitely have to watch. Then there's commentary by director-producer Ridley Scott, writer Nicholas Griffin, and writer-producer Ted Griffin. And then you get the theatrical trailer in a bunch of different languages. So, Robert Zemeckis is the executive producer. Oh, this is based on a book by Eric Garcia. I did not know that. But this is a great movie. I really like this film. Oh, Hans Zimmer. There we go. Oh, Bruce McGill is also in it from Animal House. He's a great actor too. So if you haven't seen it, it's Warner Brothers, so it's probably on Max. Are people really going to start calling it Max? Kind of like Twitter is now X. Are people now just going to say X and Max, or are we just going to still refer to them as HBO and Twitter? The next one is, also Warner Brothers. This is one from my favorite directors, Mario Van Peebles. I think that he is very underrated. I think he's a good actor. I was just in LA and I was at a motel. I was flipping channels, and on Sundance Channel was Heartbreak Ridge, and he is one of the main soldiers in it. I forgot that he was in there. That's a Clint Eastwood film, and that's a good movie. So I'll have to pick that up at some point. But this is the 2-disc special edition New Jack City. I originally had it just as the single disc, and I didn't know that it was a double disc. So I sold that one, and when I found this, I picked it up because I want to get the best that I can. At times, these things I just can't find on Blu-ray, or maybe they didn't even come out on Blu-ray. So I just pick up, like I said, the best that I can. This also has Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Chris Rock, Mario Van Peebles, who also directed. He stars in it too, and Judd Nelson. So that to me is a big plus right there, Judd Nelson. I'm a big Judd Nelson fan. And there's a fair amount of special features on this. But let's look. So directed by Mario Van Peebles. It's kind of his version of Scarface. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's on here. Made sure it was widescreen. fell into that with two movies recently where I got them on DVD and they were full frame and not widescreen, so that pissed me off. But the special features are New Jack City, a hip hop classic, artists, radio personalities, and other hip hop icons show their respect for the movie that brought the streets to the big screen. I love Mario Van Peebles in Rappin', the Cannon movie. Rappin', the film that had to happen, rated PG is what it said on the trailer. So speaking of like hip hop and stuff, Harlem World, a walk inside, Mario Van Peebles checks out the sights and sounds of the Black capital of America. The Road to New Jack City, get the lowdown on the making of the movie with Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, and Alan Payne. New Jack City music videos, and it lists a bunch of people on here like Ice-T, Christopher Williams, Color Me Bad. Audio commentary by director and co-star Mario Van Peebles, and you get the trailer and then a bunch of like subtitles and languages. So as I pointed out many times, I'm also a huge Melvin Van Peebles fan, and that's Mario's dad. I think that the two, I guess, kind of like legacy son directors that I don't think get enough respect are, you know, Mario Van Peebles and Emilio Estevez. Actually have their movies are right up there. They're just off camera. Yeah. I think they're very underrated, and I put that up on Facebook, and a person left a post saying it's interesting that they're like legacy sons of other, you know, like filmmakers, and in some cases, you know, it is nepotism, but if they're good actors and good filmmakers and good storytellers, then they should be given a chance. But I guess I'm a little hypocritical on that, because I have pointed out many times of nepotism, and but the actor or actress or filmmaker does not make good movies. They just make movies because they have the last name. So okay, so that's all Rainbow Zia Records. And so now we're going to get into Eastern, the one that's further away, that's like 30 minutes away. And just to let you guys know, I get nothing from Zia Records for this. I know I've done a few other videos with them, and I get nothing. I've actually filled out probably about 6 job applications for them, and I have not received one response. And that was back in the day when applications were done on paper, up to today when they're just everything is done online. And I have not received one call or a text or an email or anything, and which I think is a shame, since I mean, apparently I like movies, and I know a lot about movies and music, so I don't get anything from them as far as compensation goes, and it's pretty much free advertising for them. So when I was at Rainbow and I was getting the Michael Bay movies, I did ask if they had The Rock. They said they didn't, but the one on Eastern did. And so when I went over there, which was about a week or so later, I made sure to look for The Rock, and I found it. So I got, you know, Armageddon, I got Pearl Harbor, got The Rock, and I rewatched this the other day, and this is the one that has the theory, like the fan theory, that this is actually like the last Sean Connery James Bond movie. They just couldn't call it a James Bond movie, you know, for copyright purposes. And kind of like that show Secret Agent and The Prisoner, how they were supposed to be tied together, but they're different companies, so you can't say they're tied together. There's just always that theory. And of course, you know, a lot of the time, Boris the cat is right here. A lot of the times, you know, the filmmakers or studio will kind of do like a, you know, a little wink wink or hint that they are, but they actually can't say it. But yeah, now this one, The Rock, is a Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer production, directed by Michael Bay. And it's interesting of how they used to do these older Blu-rays, you know, and they always, you know, beyond high definition, HD picture, HD sound. It looks good, sounds good, so I'm happy to have it. I know this is also a Criterion one, kind of like a Armageddon, but I'm happy with this. This has Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage, and Ed Harris, so I got it for basically, you know, Michael Bay, but of course also for Nicolas Cage, and you know, and Sean Connery too. You know, it has a great cast. I mean, even Candyman is in this. You know, this has got a bunch of people in it. So it's also got, you know, Ed Harris, Michael Biehn, William Forsythe. I mean, it's got a bunch of people. And the try to check if anything is, yeah, Hans Zimmer is one of the people who did the music. But this is Nick Cage a little crazy. I think this is around his crazy time of where every character really had to be animated. And on this one, it is, the bonus features on this are, wow, there's a lot. All right. So backstage, audio commentary by director Michael Bay, producer Jerry Bruckheimer, actors Nicolas Cage and Ed Harris, and technical advisor excuse me, Harry Humphreys. The Rock world premiere, Navy SEALs on the range, Hollywood, Humphreys and Teague, special effects for Dive, action effects movie magic, outtakes, secrets of Alcatraz, Jerry Bruckheimer interview, theatrical trailers, TV spots. Oh, it says supplements originally produced by the Criterion Collection. And then it says, so I guess this was done after the Criterion edition. Movie showcase, internet access to select movie scenes that showcase the ultimate in high definition picture and sound. And then it says seamless menus. And I got a cat right here, right here. He gets jealous when I don't spend time with him. Big boys. One thing that I really like about this is that it was shot in San Francisco and on Alcatraz. I've spent most of my life in Northern California in the Bay Area, and I would go down to San Francisco every week. I love San Francisco. Even though I haven't visited every city in the world, I'm going to say it's the greatest city in the world. There are problems these days with Northern California, and I guess just with California in general, but I love California and the Bay Area. I wish that I could afford to live there because I would move back. I even love LA. You know, I just love all of California, but there's just big problems there. Here you got the... All right, so now the next one is, this is one I've wanted to pick up for a long time. I remember thinking it was okay when I first watched it. I don't think I saw it in the theater because it got bad reviews. So then I watched it online and went, yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's not as good as the original. And then I rewatched it right after I bought it, and I really enjoyed it. It's not as good as the original, but as far as the sequel goes, I really liked it. And that would be Zombieland Double Tap. So Zombieland 2. And I thought that they did a pretty good job with this. It brings back the original cast. So we got Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Abigail Breslin, I think, and Emma Stone. It's got the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital in it. It does say just as great as the first Zombieland. That's from IGN. I will disagree with that. I do love that they're living in the White House. I think is hilarious. But my biggest problem, I think, with this movie is the time between the first film and this movie. It doesn't feel like they've really lived together or got to know each other. It feels like this film could take place right after Zombieland, and it doesn't. It takes place years later. I think the chemistry between the actors is good, but it just doesn't feel like these are people that have known each other for the years between the movie. It just feels like they're actors coming back that enjoy working together, and they're making a second movie years later. That's my only complaint. But overall, I thought that I think it's a pretty good film. It's a pretty good zombie movie. It still follows a fair amount of how the first film was kind of, designed, with like the kills of the week and the beginning with the Metallica song, stuff like that. And it's the same director, so that's Ruben Fleischer. You could find out there somewhere, I watched it twice just to make sure, which is the pilot for the Zombieland TV series. My God, that was bad. And that's what originally this was supposed to be, was a TV series, and then the studio said no, make it into a movie. And it was a much better movie. And if that pilot is what they really wanted for the TV series, thank God they didn't do it. It was awful, so awful that I'm not even sure if you could find it anymore. It might be up on YouTube or something, or you could probably get a torrent of it or just find it on some streaming channel. But yeah, geez, what a misstep that was. So the Blu-ray exclusives are extended blooper reels and outtakes, alternate and behind the scenes, the doppelgangers, and a day with Bill Murray. I love that Bill Murray is back in this. Woody Harrelson is very, very good friends with Bill Murray, which is how why Bill Murray is in part one, is because of Woody Harrelson. And as I'm sure he's in this one because of Woody Harrelson. Again, he might have had a good time on set and wanted to come back. And originally, I believe Woody Harrelson was not the actor that was going to be in part one, and something happened with the original actor that he was brought in. So good thing that original actor left for whatever reason, and Woody Harrelson was brought in. And then it says also includes the rides of Zombieland, rules of making a zombie film, making Babylon, New Blood, and filmmaker commentary. And then it's got the digital stuff right here. So, and this is rated R. So for extreme violence, coarse language, violence, brutal. Is that just what it says? Violence, brutal. Okay. And language, vulgar. Oh, it's a little more than what they would normally say. Here's the stuff for the digital, which, as I'm sure, is very expired. So you got your DVD and the Blu-ray. And there's actually two of these. So here, just in case, I don't know if you guys can make them out, but just pause this and get the numbers if you want to. I don't think they're any good, but I keep them anyways, because it's part of the whole thing. Okay, so those are the two Blu-ray. The rest are DVD. This one is the first one. I do own the second one on Blu-ray. I wanted to get the first one on Blu-ray, but I just couldn't find it whenever I went to Zia. And it's actually not that cheap to buy used. So when I found it on DVD, I picked it up, said, what the hell? And that's The Collector. So I like both movies. They were going to make a part 3, but it never happened. I guess maybe The Collection didn't make as much money as they wanted to. The collection confuses me because I think the film is only 80 minutes. So it feels like a complete movie, but I mean, maybe they cut out 10 minutes of it to, to make more showtimes. And they left out character stuff and left in all the violence. I don't know. But, this is from the guys who, worked on, some of the Saw movies. They also did like the Feast stuff. And I like this. I like I said, I wish that they would have at least done a third one. So I don't like the cat getting stuck in like that that stuff that like rats and things are supposed to get trapped in, that sticky stuff. I didn't like that at all. Of course, I don't like violence to animals, so that was kind of a turn off. But I get what they were going for with this character. Yeah, it says a new horror icon is born. That's from bloodydisgusting.com. Not really. I don't think so. Yeah, Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan. I don't think there's an unrated version of this. This is R. Yeah, 90 minutes, but the collection is 80. So I'm not sure about that. So the special features on this are alternate ending, deleted scenes, soundtrack song preview, commentary by the directors, and then the Nico Vega music video Beast. I don't think that there is audio commentary on the collection. I do like how the collection starts right where this ends. So I thought that was pretty cool. So now we have another Nicolas Cage. I love this film because it is so awful. The original is a classic and has Christopher Lee in it. And the original Equalizer is in it. And that's, if you can't tell already, is The Wicker Man. And this is the widescreen edition. It includes shocking alternate ending not seen in theaters. Some sacrifices must be made. I think some people would probably say some remakes should not be made. I think this is hilarious. This is where the bees come in. Oh no, not the bees, not the bees. This film is, if you're a Nicolas Cage fan, you gotta own this movie. I'm surprised it took me so long to get. And it's directed by Neil LaBute, and he did like In the Company of Men, and some other things. He mostly does plays now, I believe. All of his films, except for this, I would probably say like Friends and Neighbors, I think was another one. They're all kind of one note. They're also all kind of depressing, just show people really kind of hurting each other. So this is a little different. I guess they hurt Nicolas Cage in this. They burn him at the end in The Wicker Man. But there is some funny stuff in this. So Ellen Burstyn is in it. Lee was it Sobieski? Never been sure on how to pronounce her name, but she's in it too. I think Nicolas Cage punches her in the face, which is pretty funny. It does say the unrated version on disc A contains material different from the PG-13 rated version. This is widescreen. I wanted to make sure about that. And the regular theatrical version is PG-13. So there's two versions of the film on this. The special features are 2 editions of the film, an unrated version on side A with an alternate ending sequence not shown theatrically, and the widescreen theatrical release version on side B. Commentary with writer-director Neil LaBute, co-stars Lily. Sobieski. God, I just have no idea how to pronounce her last name. Kate Rihanna, the editor, and costume designer. Oh, no Nick Cage. And you get theatrical trailer. This one would have been great to have Nicolas Cage on. He has made fun of himself with the bees, which I think is great. The next one is an oldie, but a goodie. I haven't seen this in a long time, and I got it because I'm a big Buck Henry fan. Buck Henry is one of the writers on The Graduate, which is my favorite film of all time. He is an actor, mostly a writer. He was on Saturday Night Live a bunch of times. He contributed to Saturday Night Live. He is in The Player, the Robert Altman movie, where he's pitching The Graduate 2 to Tim Robbins. And I just picked up a couple weeks ago a film that he wrote and directed from Warner Archives. It's called First Family. That's like Bob Newhart, Gilda Radner, whole bunch of people are in it. And when I rewatched it, it was like, this wasn't as funny as I thought it was. So I'll have to give this one a shot too. And it's Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty, which is a remake of, I believe, a film called Heaven Can Wait. This is Paramount, and it's the widescreen collection. And Buck Henry is in it. There, he's right there. And it's directed by Warren Beatty and Buck Henry. And it's Elaine May, which is interesting, is one of the screenwriters, was basically Ishtar and Howard the Duck. Oh, it looks like it's actually based on a play, but I believe there is a film. The film also stars Julie Christie, James Mason, Charles Grodin, Diane Cannon, Buck Henry, Vincent Gardena, and Jack Warren. I mean, that is a great cast. It's 1978 PG. This film is presented in widescreen format. The black bars on the top and bottom of the screen are normal. When I worked at a video store, I used to have to tell people that widescreen was a good thing. They bring movies back going, I'm missing picture. The top and bottom are missing. No, you're not. You're getting the entire picture. It's full frame is when you're missing the sides, and people wouldn't believe me. But yeah, widescreen edition, enhanced for 16:9 televisions. That's about it. Theatrical trailer. Otherwise, subtitles, languages, and stuff like that. That's about it. So this one I do want to check out. I like Warren Beatty as a director. He's a little hit and miss, just like an actor. He's a little hit and miss. But overall, I do like Warren Beatty. I like him quite a bit. Especially that he was really good friends with Gary Shandling. And I really like Gary Shandling. So I thought that was cool that Warren Beatty showed up on one of the last episodes of the Larry Sanders Show. Now we're getting into a double feature. This is indie. We're talking indie, like micro budget, super micro budget filmmaking. This is from Splatter Rampage, and which is J.R. Bookwalter's, one of his companies. And he's back to set things wrong. So this is the double feature, and it's Bone Setter Returns. So I'm trying to pick up all these original, like J.R. Bookwalter films. I do buy a lot of movies from Makeflix, and they say Makeflix on them. I don't want Makeflix on these, even though I do buy them, and I appreciate that I can pick them up. So I try to find the originals, especially for stuff I don't have, and because I know that they don't make these anymore. So it also has the bonus feature of Final Curtain. This I find curious because on the back, so Bone Setter Returns is 2005. Final Curtain is 2004. It does say a pair of suspenseful shockers from Canadian director and actor Brett Kelly. Bone Setter and the Feral Man. A total running time on this is 115 minutes. It's not rated. And yeah, so it's Tempe Video. So starring Brett Kelly. Debbie Rochon is in it. Written, produced, and directed by Brett Kelly. So the thing that makes me curious about this is Final Curtain, because Ed Wood wrote a short story, like a published one, in like a pulp magazine called Final Curtain, that takes place in a theater. And it says here, so I'm wondering if I haven't watched this yet, if they adapted it. And maybe for some sort of copyright issues, it's not shown as, like based on an Ed Wood story. But it says, a group of actors are rehearsing a play that's said to be cursed. When the troupe starts turning up dead, the survivors are forced to ask themselves, is the curse real, or is there a murderer among them? So, yeah, so I think I am going to have to put this on at some point and check it out, because I don't know, they sound very similar. Maybe not, but they do sound similar. These double feature extras are Bone Setter Returns commentary with the director and two of the actors. Bone Setter Returns Still Gallery. Final Curtain commentary with director Brett Kelly and one of the actors. Final Curtain featurette and Splatter Rampage DVD trailers. So it's two films on one disc. And our last one here is a triple feature from the same director. It's the Serial Killer Collection. This director is very hit and miss. I am a huge fan of the movie The Boogeyman, the one from the 80s. It's got a great electronic soundtrack. I saw the movie when I was a kid in the theater. I actually saw it like a few times. My mother took me to it and would just kind of drop me off and let me watch it. It was always double featured with something. I just don't remember what it was double featured with. But the theater I would see it at, the Raffel, which is the same street in San Rafael that American Graffiti was shot on. It's when I lived in Northern California. That theater always had double features because it was the B movie theater. And I loved the Boogeyman. I thought it was so great. But I do have a problem pronouncing the director's name. So Louis Lomels, I'm close, maybe not, but it's the director of The Boogeyman from like 1980. And it's three of his movies, which I've never seen: Zodiac Killer, Black Dahlia, and I want to get the Black Dahlia, the one that Brian De Palma directed. I want that one. And Green River Killer. And I'm like, oh, please have these on a separate disc. Please have each one on a separate disc. And they are. So that's a really nice thing. The looks like Zodiac Killer is R. The Black Dahlia is unrated, and Green River Killer is R. Three true life thrillers. These are all from Lionsgate. Special features, and maybe this is for all of them. Filmmakers commentary with the director and the producer. Trailer gallery. Digitally mastered English and Spanish subtitles. That's all it says. So Zodiac Killer is R for violence, including strong graphic images, language and sexual content, nothing listed for unrated, and excuse me, Green River Killer is R for strong violence, grisly images, sexuality, nudity, and language. So I thought this was definitely worth picking up. So there you go. That's everything. So we'll do a quick recap. Excuse me. Throat is very dry. So we'll start where we ended. So we got the 3 killer movies: Zodiac Killer, Black Delilah, and Green River Killer. We got that. We got that double feature from Splatter Rampage of Bonesetter Returns and Final Curtain. Warren Beatty, Buck Henry, Heaven Can Wait. Nicolas Cage, The Awesome Wicker Man. The Collector. Zombieland Double Tap. The Rock. Uwe Boll, Rampage Capital Punishment. There we go. Pearl Harbor. Armageddon. Double disc of New Jack City, Judd Nelson, written and directed and starring Mario Van Peebles. When I say that, did he write it also? Is he one of the writers? Can I say that? He was not one of the writers. Star and director Mario Van Peebles. And the Ridley Scott, Nicolas Cage film, Matchstick Men. All right, everybody, that is it. So thanks for watching. If you like, comment down below if you've seen any of these or like or hate any of these, let me know. Like the video, comment, share, do all that good stuff. I'd appreciate it. And thank you again. Thank you again for watching this, especially if you've made it all the way through. I really appreciate it. So I will see you on the next video, which I don't know what that is, but I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.